Lauren Coleman here with Maddie Garner, Jalen Gilkey, and we have Tim Buckley in the Weather Garden with us today.
Hello.
Tim, you're cool out there, right?
I'm cool, but I'm not feeling comfortable.
He's a cool guy.
You have a cool attitude.
Cool customer
but
over
the
here.
weather is not cool. I see what you're saying. We're going to check in on that hot forecast coming up in just a bit. But first, our top story. Businesses are starting to figure out next steps as Governor Roy Cooper and the CDC recommend vaccinated people wear masks indoors.
WFNY News 2's Marissa Tansino joins us live from downtown Greensboro. So Marissa, a lot of folks talking about this. What are businesses saying?
Well, Maddie, we're finding that everybody really falls kind of all over the spectrum here. Some businesses aren't making any changes at all. Others are going back to masks, and other business owners just need a little bit more time to process this information. We've already seen a number of retailers reverse their mask policies since the guidance came out earlier this week. Walmart is one who will include all employees, even vaccinated, to wear masks in hotspot areas. The big box store is also encouraging customers to wear masks in those areas and is updating signage at those stores. Lowe's Food says it's having employees wear masks and asking guests to do so as well. We also spoke with a few of our local businesses in Greensboro. Tal Blevins, the owner of Machete in Greensboro, says they're closely monitoring the situation but making no changes to policy at this time. Blevins says their staff is fully vaccinated and they won't require masks or proof of vaccine for customers at the door. Some business owners, like Jennifer Graff, are still on the fence.
Many different factors that go into it, but at the end of the day, safety is number one. So does that mean that I make it mandatory in my store? I don't know at this point. I think that the news is very fresh. So again, I tend to be someone that needs to process things before I make a decision.
Now, several business owners say that masks have been difficult to enforce in the past without any kind of mandate in place. There is no widespread mandate at a local or state level at the moment, but we have spoken with a number of leaders who say that taking further action is not off the table if numbers get worse.
All right, thank you, Marissa. And a new executive order in our state requires all employees at state cabinet agencies to prove they are vaccinated. Those who aren't will be tested weekly. And this includes people who work at the Health Department, Department of Transportation, Public Safety, Commerce, and Revenue, to name just a few. The policy takes effect September 1st. The order also encourages other agencies to enforce similar rules. Now, the vaccine has been a sensitive subject for many, whether you're for or against them. Leaders have worked diligently to give people the best information so they can make informed decisions for themselves. The Assistant Dean of Columbia University School of Nursing says there needs to be a multi-step approach when having conversations with those who are hesitant. A poll from the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research found that most Americans who haven't been vaccinated say they are unlikely to do so, with 45% saying they definitely will not and 35% saying they probably won't. Kelly Bryant says someone's concerns need to be addressed individually.
People have their own unique concerns, and I think you need to address those one-on-one. So yes, some of the concerns are valid. Side effects, yes, there are side effects. Some people may have little to none, and some people may, have the body aches and the fever and concerns. But again, letting people know that those are temporary, that's an expected reaction, that your body is building protection. So I think if people are knowledgeable and know that that's expected, then they're more likely to, get the vaccine and understand that, it doesn't mean that you have COVID-19 just because you feel these side effects.
Bryant says sharing your story on social media could ease tensions anyone you know may feel about getting the vaccine.
I-40 near Winston-Salem is now clear after a car fire near mile marker 196 shut down the entire highway going westbound. On the left side of your screen, you see a live image of traffic. You can see it is flowing smoothly now. On the right side is the crash scene earlier today. We are working to learn more information, but according to the Winston-Salem Fire Department, one person died in this crash. We'll bring you more as the story develops, both on air and online.
Update from outside. Still hot. Back to you. No, I have more. That's it. We do still have some heat, of course, outdoors. This is the 4th day in a row where we've gotten up to that 90-degree mark. And many areas right now actually reporting some mid-90s. So we look at Walnut Cove 92, Reedsville 92, Burlington just kind of sweltering through 94 at the moment. Some 89s in Greensboro and Winston-Salem, but we're in the low 90s last hour. Just kind of a random report there. Dew points, they've still been up there. Not as bad as earlier this week, but we still have plenty of humidity to handle at the moment. Want to talk about what the heat index is. A lot of people ask me, Tim, what is that? I need to know it when I go outside. Well, at the moment, we're in the mid 90s for that feels like here locally, but to the south, it is over the 100-degree mark. Now, the good news is we'll start to see an end to the extreme heat going into tomorrow. Not seeing anything on radar for now or really for this evening either. We should stay pretty dry for our forecast for tonight and for tomorrow. So the temps look like this: 90 now, going down to the right around 70-degree mark overnight tonight. And then for tomorrow, we start off around 70. We only end up in the mid 80s. So Saturday is a little bit of relief here. We'll have a little bit of that hazy smoke building back in for Saturday afternoon, but I do not think it will feel quite as hot tomorrow as it has most of this week. We've had enough.
We have certainly had enough, and those few degrees are going to make a world of difference this weekend compared to what we've been feeling. It has been so hot out there. So we ask you on Facebook, do you prefer this heat or are you ready for the cold temperatures? Let's take a look at what you had to say on our Facebook page. Linda Hendershot-Williams said, neither. Spring weather is my favorite. Marie Brooks said, neither. I prefer the fall temperatures. Patty Wilkinson Gibson, I can keep warm, not so much cool without AC. Oof. Teresa Richter-Rether said, she said she'd rather have the cold. I can always put more clothes back on, but can only take off so many. Rebecca Warren said she prefers the cold. You can see Gloria Taft wants the fall weather there. And Melita Hatley says, a nice 75 degrees, please. Otherwise, hot temperatures. Luann Martin said, snow. So cold it is. I don't want this. Yeah. I mean, but we have to understand it's July and it's North Carolina, and this is just what happens.
Yeah, right. I'm more of a fall type of girl, but like one of the commenters said, you can only take but so many layers off. So I'd rather just stay inside when it's too hot or too cold.
I think we always want what we can't have. Right? So if you ask this question in July, everybody wants the cold weather. If you ask it in the winter, we all want the hot weather. So obviously a happy medium would be better. Spring and fall are pretty good, but kind of depends on what you like. I like the long days and I like leaves on the trees. I'm just happier when that happens. So I'll take the summer heat over the winter cold.
Tim, question for you. I went into a local restaurant that we both enjoy and they said, how does Tim wear a suit in the weather garden in this heat?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't really like it. And everyone's like, how do you not sweat? It's like, oh, I sweat
I'm sweating.
plenty. I have a fan right in there that I stand next to after the hits. So.
Yeah, and we just tip our hat to all of the hardworking men and women who have to do their jobs outside in this heat.
Absolutely. Y'all stay cool out there. Well, in other news, the NBA draft taking place last night in New York.
Yeah, North Carolina players got drafted last night.
And one from right here in the Triad. Wesleyan Christian alum Aaron Wiggins and WFLY News 2's Amanda Ferguson spoke with someone close to him about this exciting time.
It's been a dream for Aaron Wiggins to make it to the NBA and something his high school principal has supported. Wiggins has worked extra hard this summer to prove he belongs in the league. He told us ahead of the draft what it would mean to him.
That's the dream that you really think of growing up. It's the only thought that you have, and it's a dream.
That dream has come true for Wesleyan Christian alum and Maryland guard Aaron Wiggins. He was drafted in the second round with the 55th pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder in the 2021 NBA Draft.
Aaron Wiggins is beyond basketball. He is one of the finest young men that I've ever known.
Wesleyan Christian Academy's principal Tim Rickman couldn't say enough good things about Wiggins.
He was a great student in school, and then he was a basketball player, and a great basketball player on top of that. So he is one of those special students, and I was thrilled when I got the word that he was drafted last night.
Wiggins is not only a part of the NBA now, but he's joining a roster with a fellow Trojan on it. Jalen Horde.
It's exciting to have those two together, and it's just an honor for Wesleyan. And I'll tell you what's an honor about it. They're great young men. They are not just basketball players, and they are young men who will make a wonderful way in life, even when basketball is over with. And because of that, that makes me, as their high school principal, even more thrilled.
Now there are 4 Wesleyan Christian players in the NBA. The other 2 are Theo Pinson and Harry Giles.
Go Heels, Theo Pinson. That's very cool, and you can tell how proud the principal was of his former students.
Yeah, he was smiling so big.
Yeah, we were talking about what this means for the school, but also for other kids in the Triad, that this shows that if you put in the work, you can really get to where you want to go and your dreams coming true.
And Aaron's a perfect fit for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're missing a shooter. They could use another wing. That's a great defender, so you could plug him right in there. He great 3-point shot, great defender. And how cool is that? 4 kids from the same high school from the Triad in the NBA.
They're certainly inspiring lots of kids here in the Triad, and I'm excited to see where they go.
Yeah, we'll have to watch them. Amanda, you'll have to bring us the highlights.
We will, especially since 2 of them are on the same team.
Make it convenient for you, right?
Very cool.
I wonder if they'll get back into the old pattern that they had when they were playing up the road in High Point.
That would be very cool. And it's pretty nice probably when you go to a new state, a new city, and have someone you know.
Yeah,
Maybe we can get an exhibition game out this way, maybe.
That'd be fun.
All right.
I'd like that.
Well, we're going to keep it with sports. Carolina Panthers fans can get their first look at this year's team at FanFest. Watch Sam Darnold, CMC, and the team practice.
Yes, you can watch FanFest Friday, August 6th at 7 o'clock right here on WFMY News 2. Because of that, there are some programming changes, so take note and maybe set your DVR to record at these times.
So Secret Celebrity Restoration will air overnight at 1:37 a.m. It'll be followed by Wheel of Fortune at 2:37 and Jeopardy at 3:07 a.m. So if you missed these times, don't worry, we do have it all on our website. You don't want to miss FanFest next Friday at 7 right here on WFMY News 2, your official home of the Carolina Panthers. We'll be right back. Well, if you're a fan of live music, I'm sure you're hoping to listen to some of your favorite artists live again soon. Well, we got some good news. ReFest is back. The Yadkin Valley Music Festival is back for another year, and WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey learned it's raising money for a good cause, too.
Yeah, Lauren, you're absolutely right. After taking a year off due to the coronavirus pandemic, ReFest is back and better than ever for their 10th anniversary. And not only is this an opportunity to vibe out to some of your favorite bluegrass, old school rock, and folk music, but you can help a Yadkin County student continue their education at the same time.
Really over the whole weekend, it's a pretty eclectic mix of music and different kinds of acts. Friday, we'll have a block party that kicks everything off with a really great artist and friend of ours, Emmanuel Winter from Charlotte.
Sam Taylor and the team from ReFest are going to have the town of Elkin and the Reeves Theater rocking August 6th and 7th, and there are still plenty of tickets available, and all proceeds are going to a great local cause.
Yeah, we keep all of the money raised in our community. We have different, it's a little bit of a different scholarship. It's kind of open more to what we call a creative leadership, and it's not necessarily GPA based. It's really open to folks who are kind of working more with folks.
Sam went on to say that these scholarships can be used by students to educate themselves however they feel fit, whether that be a technical college, at a 2-year or even a 4-year university. If you and the fam want to check out the action, I'll attach a link to ReFest, their website, in my web story on WFNYnews2.com.
Very cool. It looks like they pull a pretty big crowd there from those pictures. I know I'm excited about more live music. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great that this particular event does a mix. What did you say? They have bluegrass, they have rock, they have all kinds of things
Folk
going on.
music, they got a whole mix. Very family-friendly event. That's the one thing they wanted to make sure that it was reiterated. There would be face painting for kids, crafts, and other activities for the kids as well. So don't think you got to find a babysitter. You can bring the kids on out.
Unless you want to find a babysitter.
Right, unless you want to. That's up to you.
Enjoy yourselves.
I need to know, when you're at like music festivals or live music like that, are you on the dance floor or are you just sitting?
Oh, I'm dancing.
I'm
dancing.
Do you dance?
It just depends. It just depends on the vibe.
I feel like he's a dancer.
I feel like he's a dancer.
Conservative.
Y'all know I'm trying to get on stage.
We know you dance.
Like when I'm trying to get with the band.
You're probably
here.
with the tambourine
That's
up
me.
there with them and everything.
Absolutely. we are here for a good time, not a long time.
Yep. That's true.
All right. Well, we will again just keep you updated on ReFest. Jalen has that web story going up on our website. In the meantime, we are chatting with you on our Facebook page. Come on over and leave us a comment. We are on top of breaking news right now. The city of Winston-Salem is reinstating its mask mandate. This means masks are required inside of city-owned buildings and on public transit. It does not apply to outdoor areas owned by the city, like parks and public pools. There are religious and medical exemptions, but that rule takes effect today at 5:30 in just more than an hour. This is a developing story. We will bring you any updates on air and online. Well, have you ever heard of a vision board? It's where you map out all of your dreams or a vision of what your ideal life would look like. In today's U-Day moment, Coach Lamont shares a similar message, asking us to reflect on our dreams.
One day, employees arriving for work were greeted with an unusual sign on the door. It read, "Yesterday, the person who hindered your growth passed away." They were all told to report to the company auditorium for the memorial service. One by one, each employee proceeded to the open casket to pay their respects. As each employee approached, those waiting in the line heard a loud gasp. They were astonished to see inside the coffin a mirror with a note which read, "You are the only one hindering you." My friend, the world is like a mirror constantly reflecting back to you the life you have settled for. If you are not pleased with the life you are currently living, what are you doing to change it? If you want more, you have to believe for more. Like a mirror in a coffin, bury the idea of a reflection that doesn't resemble you winning. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best U-Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, Lauren, Jalen, Tim, I need to know, how many push-ups can you do?
Does the
Like,
modified version count?
Are we doing these?
I can do the modified version. Like
Should we do these the entire
You got a lot of
story?
practice, don't you, Maddie?
Do I have a lot of
touchdown
practice?
practice.
Yeah, no, I don't. Are you deflecting so you don't have to answer the question?
No, I mean, right now, I can give you a strong 50, maybe.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, that's
50's
impressive.
a lot.
That's-
50's a lot.
No, that's very light. That is very light.
I think I'm like 5.
I can do at least 8.
Yeah, I think I could
Those are
do
solid
like
answers.
8 to 10 on my toes. If I drop
have
down
no
to my
idea.
knees, I could.
I'm
maybe,
extremely out of
yeah,
shape right now,
pump
so
out a little bit more.
50 would be a challenge.
And Jalen, that's okay.
It's fine. You know,
He's
part of
lying.
life.
good
That's
enough.
not even true.
The only reason I ask you this is because a man has set a goal to do 50 push-ups in 50 days in all 50 state capitals.
Wow.
50, 50, 50.
That's
But
impressive.
why? Well, it's a 50-day journey for Darren Hafford and an effort to raise awareness for rising veteran suicide rates. Hafford first started doing push-ups to raise awareness for veteran suicide after the organization 22 Kill challenged people to do 22 push-ups in 22 days. Darren explains why 22 was a significant number.
In 2012, the Veterans Administration released the startling statistic that 22 veterans on average a day were committing suicide. I just would like to encourage veterans, you know, if you're having a tough time, please reach out to someone. There's a lot of help out there, and there's a lot of Americans that want to support their veterans.
It is an important message there. Since the challenge, Hafford has taken on more difficult push-up challenges, leading to his current one. He started this on July 4th and has driven nearly 10,000 miles since then. He served in both the U.S. Marine Corps and the Wisconsin Army National Guard. More impressive, I think, than the 50 push-ups is the ability to get to all 50 state capitals.
That's the real challenge.
Yeah, that's some logistics to kind of figure out that whole route
Right.
around the lower 48. And then you got to get to Alaska and Hawaii at the back end.
You can't drive to Hawaii.
Cannot.
No. And that's 2,500 push-ups.
That
That's a lot.
is.
Look at you
It's a
doing
lot.
math.
He had really good form, too.
Oh.
He's done this before.
I was about to say this guy. I hate to be that guy, but I don't know. But you know,
I thought his form was good.
it's okay. He's
Jalen,
he's doing a lot of push-ups.
That
So
you are not
do it.
hating
I'm
on
not.
this man's
I'm just saying.
form.
I was just a little like.
I
it
think we
was,
should bring him out into the studio to
I think he and Jalen need to do a push-up challenge.
He's
It's
going to do
gonna take me-
100
it's gonna take
push-ups
me
in the
longer than
break.
30 seconds to
you
get in
got.
there. I'm sorry.
The most important thing is the message. He is spreading awareness, and it
Absolutely.
is certainly getting the attention it deserves because we were all talking about it. Yeah, maybe I'll practice my push-ups during the break. I was out of breath trying to read that story after we were doing this, Lauren.
Push-up contest on Facebook Live.
During the break on Facebook.
Can you
Let's
do
do
the
it.
ones
Oh.
like this?
Come on, Tim.
This is a lot
two,
for me. We're heading to break.
doing
We're
it
on
right?
Facebook doing push-ups,
Getting
Come join the
swole.
live stream.
getting a little pump in.
Get out of here.
We're
Look.
so silly.
That's all we
I
said.
wonder if I can do.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Mad Dog.
Wait,
Give me one.
Jeff, you do push-ups.
Yeah, Jeff, we want to see you do the push-ups.
I think I can do a couple. Let's see.
I have to do the modified version because
Just my back.
and she's doing it in
Yeah.
heels. That's
There you
impressive.
go, Mad Dog.
I feel like I'm not gonna all the way down.
All right, Jalen, let's see what you got.
Oh boy. I don't know. Do I gotta take my jacket off? Oh, hey. Do I gotta take my jacket off? Let me see. I'll give y'all 5 real quick.
Okay. At least I didn't have to do a burpee. Now I'm not gonna be able to read the news. Oh, now you're not extended all the way up. Does that count?
Y'all know where my little button is?
Got me breathing heavy.
Where is my?
All right, that's all I got. I'm tired.
Hey, COVID numbers. Me
Mortis
push-ups?
push-ups.
He's gone.
No, I am sweaty. That was a bad idea.
COVID numbers.
Yeah, my shirt's
Is that
untucked.
script really only 6 seconds?
Y'all untucked my shirt.
Okay.
I'm a mess.
All right, cool.
You're always a mess, Jalen.
Hot Mess Express. Tim, don't think you escaped.
I feel like I'm having deja vu right now, guys.
Tim has to stand outside in the heat. He gets a pass.
Does he?
Yes.
I guess.
I truly am a little bit sweaty. Do I look
seems like-
shiny? Do I need some powder?
Shine bright like a diamond.
No, I don't want to. Happy Friday. Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner here with Lauren Coleman. We have Jalen Gilkey and Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley joining us this Friday afternoon.
Hi.
Hi.
We switched. Jalen and I switched spots. You
Yeah, I didn't know which hand to wave. I had to take a second to think.
I will tell you, it is confusing to figure out what side you're on.
Yeah.
It is. I learned a trick though. If you're looking at the screen, if you're on the left side, wave your left hand. It usually works better.
Is that what you're going for right now?
Yeah, that's my theory.
That's good to know.
We are glad that you are joining us. By the way, we are live on Facebook. You can wave at us there in the comments section.
Come do some push-ups with us.
Getting a pump in.
Well, we're one step forward, and it seems like we're taking 2 steps back. Lowe's Foods has announced it will require customers and employees to wear masks once again in their stores. Walmart will return to masking for all employees, including those fully vaccinated, in areas where there is substantial spread of the virus.
So these decisions to wear masks are coming as U.S. health officials say the Delta variant is as contagious as chickenpox. The CDC is thinking about new tactics to fight COVID. New strategies could include mask mandates once again and vaccine requirements for healthcare providers. All this information is according to the Associated Press. The spread of the Delta variant is what led to Triad school districts to require masks for students and staff in the fall. Guilford County and Winston-Salem Forsyth County school leaders voted on mask policies for both students and staff this upcoming school year.
Guilford County schools will review their policy every 10 weeks, while Winston-Salem Forsyth reviews their policy after the first 9 weeks. Dr. Sharon Contreras also recommends students and staff not fully vaccinated who play sports or other high-risk activities participate in mandatory testing. Guilford County schools will also keep track of vaccination statuses of employees, student athletes, and coaches. Winston-Salem Forsyth County's mask policy will be for children 5 and up.
Both state and federal leaders announced new vaccine mandates for workers. Governor Roy Cooper issued a new executive order directing state government cabinet agencies to confirm if employees are vaccinated. Unvaccinated employees will get tested at least once a week and will have to wear a mask.
Get a vaccine today. Don't wait until you or a family member is sick and going on a ventilator. Don't wait until we run out of hospital beds. Don't wait until skyrocketing numbers threaten to shut businesses or cancel sports. Don't wait until you infect somebody you love.
There are 10 agencies that fall under this executive order. You can see that information on our website. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden said federal workers will have to show proof of vaccination or face similar restrictions. In addition, the federal government is offering leftover funding from the American Rescue Plan so states can offer $100 cash incentives to people who get their vaccine now.
And another vaccine mandate in North Carolina taking effect today will impact 3 Triad healthcare systems. Healthcare workers protested Cone Health's vaccine mandate in front of Moses Cone Hospital. Employees have until October 1st to get fully vaccinated and must show proof by October 8th. Cone Health said employees can apply for medical and religious exemptions. Other healthcare systems making a similar move: Navant Health and Wake Forest Baptist Health. So the mandates have the Triad buzzing. Let's take a look at what some of you are saying about healthcare's workers and some of their reactions. So Sandy Evans Wade says, first, every employee in the Cone system is concerned with keeping the patient safe. We have worn masks, eyewear, and other PPE since the start of the pandemic without a vaccine and managed to keep patients safe. If Cone is that concerned about safety, stop allowing visitors again. We don't ask their vaccination status. Kathleen Williams says, good for them. Stand up for yourself. Doris Jones Jessup says, get the shot. Neil Resnick says, I would not go to a hospital where the employees were not vaccinated. These people should understand the necessity better than anyone. I'm glad hospitals are making a stand. Amy Michelle Ward says, this is crappy. These workers worked through the pandemic without the option of vaccinations and took the risk of death. Let them choose. Daniel Beck says, as they should.
With COVID hospitalizations climbing here in the Triad and nationwide, healthcare workers continue powering through this pandemic. CBS News' Omar Villafranca spoke to nurses and doctors on the front line at St. Dominic Memorial Hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. He talks to them about what they're feeling.
The worry really never goes away.
Wendy Gwines leads the nurses in the ICU at St. Dominic's in Jackson. She's been through COVID surges before, but this one, with the Delta variant, is leaving everyone exhausted.
I'm very concerned about PTSD. I'm worried about burnout. I'm worried about them questioning their choices of going into healthcare.
The worry is mixed with grief. Earlier in the pandemic, her team lost a colleague in the same COVID unit where they all worked.
There was anger. There were tears. There were, there was frustration.
Frustration at what?
That we're here, that we're actually having to work on one of our healthcare, team members.
Dr. Reginald Martin is a surgeon here, but last year he was a patient fighting for his life.
2 weeks before my hospitalization, I rode a bike 75 miles. 2 weeks after my infection, I couldn't walk to the bathroom without getting short of breath.
How do you tell people out there you don't want this? What do you tell them?
Being in that hospital room with my O2 saturations in the 80s, being unable to breathe or take a deep breath. I'll relay that story to every patient that comes in and tell them, that you got to get this vaccine.
But like so many, he feels frustrated.
It's incredibly frustrating to know that you could have done something different, that you are potentially a threat to my health.
Despite the frustration, the care continues. Dr. Bharat Malhotra admits, so does the heartache.
What would happen to you if you were actually to stop and slow down and hear each individual patient's story? Do you think you could handle it?
No, I don't think so, because then there will be so much helplessness.
One memory haunts him, a woman dying in his COVID ward, writing down her final wishes for her son.
Did you have to give those last wishes to her child, or did she?
I did.
Did she make it?
No.
Taking a look at our COVID numbers here in our state, hospitalizations are up past 1,100 right now. 293 COVID patients are in the ICU.
Hesitant people may argue that people are still dying from COVID even if they've gotten a vaccine. While breakthrough cases are possible, we turn to Dr. Anthony Fauci to address whether the vaccine protects us against severe illness or death.
There's a very striking statistic that I think people should pay attention to. Of all of the COVID deaths in the United States, 99.5% of them were among unvaccinated people, and only 0.5% were among vaccinated people. So if you're unvaccinated, you are at risk of a severe outcome.
And I want to ask you about breakthrough infection. Us regular people just walking around, we got the vaccine. How likely is it that we're going to get infected?
Well, the one thing that people need to realize is that no vaccine at all is 100% effective. There's a fair number of people who are not protected against initial infection, even though the protection against severe disease is extraordinarily good. So if you're vaccinated, you may get a breakthrough infection of being without symptoms or mildly symptomatic. But the chances are overwhelming that you would be very well protected against severe disease.
Well, time is running short for renters to pay or get help. The national eviction moratorium ends tomorrow, and the Census Bureau says more than 8 million people were behind on rent as of mid-June. The Treasury Department urges people to look for help on the website consumerfinance.gov. And remember, there are several assistance programs right here in the Triad, including the state's HOPE program. We have all that information and more on our website. Go to WFNYnews2.com. And coming up at 5:30, if you need more guidance, we have experts joining us on 2 Wants to Know today for 30 minutes. Get your questions answered about evictions, rent, and utility help here in the Triad by texting this number, 336-379-5775.
Oh yeah, you don't need me to tell you it's hot. You know that. You're smart. Everyone's smart, right? It's hot outside. It's very obvious today that we have that heat still continuing. We've been in the low to mid 90s across our part of the state. A little bit more humid, a little bit hotter as you go farther to the south and farther to the east, but no real relief, at least close to home. To the north, that's where we're seeing some change. Take a look way up in the New England area, the Mid-Atlantic. They're in the 60s and 70s right now, if you can believe that, for this time of year. That nice air not really making it down to us, although we'll have a little brief relief tomorrow, only topping out in the 80s rather than the 90s. So small improvements and brief ones too. Once we go into Sunday, want you to pay attention because there could be a couple of rounds of thunderstorms. One round in the morning and another in the afternoon. So pay attention to Sunday. I want to emphasize Saturday is your best day for outdoor activities without being worried about those storms.
Greensboro Police Chief Brian James surprised teenagers participating in Cone Health's new Cone Core program. Chief James gave 15 teenagers laptops to better prepare them for schoolwork. The Cone program is part of GPD's 500 Jobs initiative to get teenagers paid opportunities during the summer. One Dudley High School senior says she hopes all kids her age will consider participating in the summer program.
This is something that all kids should explore. It helps you find a spark in us. Like, I didn't know I've been good at farming, and then I just dove right in. Buck told me, I was like, no, this is just something I dive right into. I haven't done this before. It's just so much life and so much love coming through this.
Chief James says the program has been a success as multiple Greensboro businesses step up to offer positions for teenagers. We'll be right back.
Hello out there in Facebook land. You act like I did it. I didn't do it. Hello there, Facebook land. How y'all feeling about my drip? On a scale of 1 to 10. We dripping? Are we dripping or are we drowning?
A new study shows all-encompassing hands-free laws in states prevented about 140 driver deaths and nearly 14,000 injuries. Most states ban texting and calling while driving, including North Carolina, but 21 states enacted laws against all handheld cell phone use, which includes using apps. According to the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, more than 3,100 people died in crashes caused by distracted driving in 2019. In North Carolina, that same year, nearly 19% of crashes were caused by distracted driving. The study suggests laws banning only texting and calling while driving are not as effective as these broader laws.
I don't accept that people won't give up phones. What I say is we haven't reached them the right way.
Researchers recommend all states adopt rules that prevent drivers from using their phones, especially teenagers. North Carolina lawmakers are considering the hands-free NC bill that would tighten restrictions on phones and other devices while driving. That bill has been set aside for the year.
PTI Airport and the entire travel industry are trying to recover from their roughest year in a recent memory. WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey spoke with representatives from our local airport about what the last year plus has been like. Jalen.
With leisure travel pretty much back in full swing across the country, PTI Airport saw close to 65,000 travelers in the month of June. Executive Director Kevin Baker says the last few months have given him reason to be optimistic for the first time in a year plus.
Well, about a year ago, it was pretty bad times, obviously. The worst for us was back in April, the middle part of April of last year, 2020. We got down to one point where on a daily basis, we had 75 passengers, where we would normally have 3,000, 3,500 on that same kind of a day.
Last month, PTI saw close to 4 times the number of travelers they saw June of 2020. And according to Baker, July was another successful travel month for our airport.
Well, the industry pretty much thinks at this point that leisure travel has completely returned. That, the folks who are traveling to go on vacation or go visit relatives, etc., that's pretty much completely returned at this point. I actually think that for us, it's actually maybe even higher than it was in 2019.
I asked Baker what he thought the next few months would look like for the travel industry as the coronavirus cases numbers continue to rise in North Carolina and across our nation. He said he and his team will observe and see what comes next from the CDC.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are traveling, and you can tell by the cost of airplane tickets.
Oh,
I have a couple of weddings coming up where I'm going to have to fly, and they're so expensive right now.
But do you all feel more comfortable traveling now?
I was definitely
done a lot of
feeling
it?
more comfortable after the resurgence of cases that we've been seeing lately. I was wearing, double masking and everything like that, and then I just went down to one fabric mask when I traveled last because we were looking good. Like our case numbers were down, hospitalizations were down, but now that we're starting to see that increase again, I might go back to the heavy duty.
Same here.
Yeah.
I have a couple trips planned for next year, a couple out of the country trips, but just with everything that's going on, I'm hoping I'll still be able to do that.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm in the same boat as you. I got a trip to Mexico that's supposed to be coming up, and I am nervous. I don't know if we're gonna make it, and I am praying
Jalen,
that would be 2 years in a row. Last year it was Turks and Caicos.
That's what I was going to
This
ask
year it
about
might be
because
Mexico.
I
A
feel
mess.
like the entire arc of your journey here on the 4 to 5 has been highlighted by
failure.
Turks and Caicos conversation, and we never got an update on that.
Listen,
Yay
we
or nay?
moved on to Mexico, and this might not happen either.
This man
I
just
need
wants to be on
I
the
need to
beach
be more
somewhere.
comfortable. I need to be more comfortable.
might need to go
with
to, like,
air travel.
Turtle Beach
That's
or
exactly
something.
what it's about, personal comfort level. All right, we're heading to break. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, push-up contest.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. All right, the OG watchers remember Friday Funnies, right? If you don't, it's a segment that we do here on the 4 to 5 where we shared all of our goofs over the week. We are bringing them back because who doesn't want a good giggle on a Friday? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I was waiting for a long time for the voiceover, but then I got tickled.
That's bad news for office. This is feed my international play ball safely.
I'm just gonna hide under this stool because I can't do it.
I feel like I should be saying it super Saturday. They
Say super Saturday.
Still okay, we're fine. It's fine. It's burning, it's fine. We're all fine.
Super Saturday.
Super Saturday.
And as always, thank you.
So cute. It was a surprise that it was all me. Goodness, I'm a little goofy. I'm a little silly. That was because it is my last day here on the 4 to 5. If you missed the announcement on Wednesday, I'm staying with our company but taking a job at our sister station in Hartford, Connecticut.
We're certainly going to miss you, Maddie, and your silliness and just bubbly personality.
Well, thanks.
But you'll shine wherever you go.
I'm sure our editor will appreciate not having to cut as many mistakes out there.
Hey man, like I said on Wednesday, I'm just so proud of you. Just so happy for you.
Thanks, Jalen.
My buddy.
I mean, you guys are definitely family, and you don't lose touch with family. So I'm on Facebook. I'll talk to you all just like I do every single day.
We'll root for you from North Carolina.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, we showed the bloopers there, but Maddie, I mean, you're such a pro. We've seen you do everything. You were on the mornings, the evenings, reporting, anchoring, everything in between. You just have all the skills that you need to do this, but just a great person to work with, and we're just going to miss you a whole lot. Don't go.
Please don't.
We're proud of you.
Stop. You are going to make me sad, but it really has been a pleasure. Thank you, 4 to 5 viewers, the Triad WFNY News 2. Stay tuned for my 2 cents because that's all you need to see. I say it all in there.
Weather is next. That's what they're telling me. How do I have to follow that? Oh boy. All right. Here are the numbers. Maybe it's cooler in Connecticut, Maddie. 92 right now here in the Triad. That's our high temperature for today. We look at our weather. We are seeing some of that cooler weather trying to slip south heading into tomorrow. We'll still be in the 80s, but it's not quite as hot as it has been the last couple. Do want you to pay attention to Sunday. There will be a chance of thunderstorms early in the day, believe it or not, in the morning, but then also in the afternoon. Some of those could be strong, so keep it with us for more coverage over your weekend. All dry tonight, all dry tomorrow. Sunday is the one day of the weekend. You have to pay attention to that radar if you're trying to be outside. Weather forecast after that, look how cool it gets. That's a surprise. Partly because the clouds are rolling in, the showers are rolling in. It's a wet weather pattern. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Fun times, guys. Hi there, 1, 2, 3. Kelly, my face is covered by a face mask. If I sound muffled, that is the reason.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
One, two, 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You guys got us okay?
It's time for my 2 cents, my last 2 cents. And it only feels right to make it a tribute to you, because it was you who welcomed me to the Triad. I grew up in Mount Airy. I went to college at UNC in Chapel Hill, but when I moved to Greensboro, you made this place home. It was you who watched me go from a WFMY News 2 intern to a reporter to weekend mornings anchoring alongside Ed Matthews to GMS every weekday, all the way to my spot right here on the 4 to 5. It was you who said hello at the Lexington Barbecue Festival and who celebrated with me at Fun Fourth in downtown Greensboro. It was you who trusted me to tell your stories, to bring you big news, sad news, and important news. Without you, none of what we do here is possible. Without you, there is no community, there is no progress, there are no festivals, there are no stories to tell. Thank you. I am excited for what's coming up next, to see what's out there. I've never lived anywhere but North Carolina, and I know this next journey is going to bring a lot of change. Life happens, things do change, people grow and move, but it doesn't mean the past stays behind. I am taking everything with me. And that's what makes it possible to go forward. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
To follow Governor Roy Cooper's recommendations or not, he is urging local businesses to have workers and customers to mask up again, regardless if they've gotten vaccinated or not. Not every business owner is quick to